Hello! So for today's lesson, we're going to focus on mental health. My plan is to go through the logistics and overall goal first, and then I'll demonstrate a small lesson within the topic. It's going to be a mock Zoom class, again with a focus of mental health, but in 6th grade. My state standards are Visual Arts Standard 3, Invent, Discover, to Create, and the focuses on that are plan a creation, explore various media, and then use current technology to redefine ideas for those works of art. Drama and Theater Arts Standard 2, Perform, and the focuses on that are to select works for presentation, develop and refine those techniques, and convey meaning through the presentation of artistic work. So my plan unit is overall social issues with a focus of mental health, what it is and what that looks like to the students personally. And I'll break those down into smaller sections such as stigma, ways to support yourself, and figuring out connections with those and in between and how to break certain things down. So lesson objectives are students will understand the stigma surrounding mental health problems and the impact of stigma and discrimination on help-seeking behavior, be aware of the myths and the realities of mental illness, consider attitudes about their mental illness or others, exhibit a realistic and positive understanding of mental illness. And the students will be able to create a visual art representation and pair it with a presentation of spoken word in groups that represents a section of mental health. Again, I'm going to teach what mental health is, have the kids pick a focus, and then they will create an art piece and then an oral piece presentation at the end. So here is an example of my lesson. Hello class, I hope you're all doing well. First, I want to go over our expectations for today's Zoom. You may choose to have your cameras on or off after roll call, and please keep yourself on mute when you're not speaking. Please either raise your hand emoji or write in the chat box to speak out if you have a question when it's outside of question times. You are required to participate in today's lesson a minimum of 2 times, either by voice or in the chat box. And remember, this is a space for all opinion and ideals, but please keep any negative or mean things to yourself. This is not the place for that, and we are here to learn and help support each other. We are going to talk about an issue that is very personal and difficult for some people to talk about. I am not requiring you at all to tell your personal stories, just your thoughts and genuine questions. Today's lesson, I would like you to have something to take notes on, and I've put the links in the chat box for your Flipgrid and word art, and the module page for your classroom with all the worksheets and other content information. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to pull those up. While that's happening, I'm going to take roll call, and if you would please have the word art page up first. Roll call, yay! All right, thank you all for being here. So today's topic is mental health. I would like you all to type in the word art page, linked in the comments again, words that you associate with mental health. And remember, this is all anonymous. None of your names pop up, just the words you use. Okay, so some of the main words I'm seeing are anxiety, depression, overreacting, stigma, support, crazy. Those are all great responses, and thank you for sharing. It doesn't surprise me that we tend to think of this topic negatively. Media outlets and stigma in general definitely puts a negative light on mental health issues. And I want to talk about that and shed some light, as they say, onto it so we can break down those normal misconceptions and also showcasing ways that we can help support ourselves and each other during these times. So mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act, and determines how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Now, the way I see that is mental health kind of oversees all that we are and do. If you have a bad night's sleep, you come cranky to school, that's part of mental health. If you are struggling with depression or anxiety, that is also a section of this. So it is very important that we take down those stigmas, take down those borders, showcase on it, and find ways to help each other through this because it is such a personal and overwhelming part of our lives. So one section I really want to focus on first is stigma. And for this, I'd like you to either speak up or in the chat box, but who can tell me what stigma means or what does that mean to you? All right, thank you guys. So the definition of stigma is a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. This definition alone makes me feel a little shameful in that it's hard to talk about what you're going through. What you're going through is wrong. It's hard to struggle. It's wrong to struggle or go through those ups and downs in life. That's so normal. And I want us to break that down and reduce the stereotypes, the prejudices, and possible discriminations associated with mental health. So all of us as humans, we go through events in our life that are hard and that may need extra support and understanding from those around us. And I know especially during this COVID times, at least for me personally, it seems to kind of get bigger. I'm definitely a people person and I miss seeing you guys to face and just that human connection. And so I've really leaned on my roommate, I've really leaned on my family to help with that extra support of taking on that, hey, I need some people time. Could you just stand here and talk with me? You are not alone and it is normal. So I want us to go back to that word art again, and I'm going to ask you a few questions that just to make you think about the subject, okay? And all you're going to respond with is either yes or no. Nothing else, yes or no. All right, first question. Once you have mental illness, you have it for life. Medication is the best and only treatment. People with mental illnesses are generally violent and dangerous. Adults are more likely to have it than teenagers. And you can tell by how someone looks that they have it, that they're going through something. You are normally shy and quiet, or most will never be affected by a mental health issue. Okay, thank you for responding to each question. I am seeing a good amount of mixed answers for both, which means we have got some great differing opinions and possible discussions for later. So I want to go through each of them. And again, this is part my opinion, part information that I have found and researched. I am not a doctor, so please take everything with a grain of salt. I am here just to help give you information as well. So once you have mental illness, you have it for the rest of your life. It is true that some people experience issues for their whole life. It could be genetic or just situational to where it repeats and they require help, which is perfectly fine. But there are also instances that are called episodic, which means they happen just during a small season of your life. So say you go through a death in the family and you go through a really hard downtime. That is a small section and season in your life, and that doesn't occur for the rest. Hopefully. I hope not that you're able to recover and go through that grieving cycle. But this does not mean that all people, or once you have it, that you'll never be able to go back up. Now, for those that it does, that is okay. You are normal. And we'll talk about that in a further question about ways we can help support you through that. So 2, medication is the best and only treatment. This is not true. Medication can be a very effective part of managing mental health, but it by no means is the only treatment or support that is out there for people. A wide range of help is out there, including medication, but counseling, social and recreational groups, self-help, holistic help, religious support, holistic and hospital care, exercise and nutrition, and just to get you out and moving. The best approach, though, is to have that combination of strategies to help be effective. And again, going through your doctor, going through, maybe you are more of the holistic approach, going through someone that you trust through that. Please go and talk to somebody. And we have counselors here at the school, and I have made comments that's part of our content page to be able to connect with those people as well. So 3, people with mental illnesses are generally violent and dangerous. This is not true. There is no causation between a mental health issue and being angry and violent. There is no studies to support that. 4, adults are more likely to have it than teenagers. So some illnesses are first diagnosed in childhood, but many more begin to appear later in life. to early adulthood. I think personally this is because we're able to finally realize what we're going through and able to cope a little bit better. Or as we're adults, we tend to get a little bit more responsibility, so there's more to have to work with as well. 5, you can tell by how someone just looks. Sometimes if a person is experiencing symptoms of their mental health, how they are feeling, thinking, behaving may be different than what's normal for them. Say that someone's typically really happy all the time and they're going through downtime, so they're pretty sad. Sometimes you can see it that way, but in general, you can't tell if a person has a mental illness or is going through something just based on their appearance. It is not that simple. You are normally shy and quiet. Again, there is no relationship between mental health and your personality. 7, most will never be affected. Unfortunately, this is very not true. The stats that are on this is that 1 in 5 people will experience a mental illness and at some point in their life. And through this context, everyone will be affected by it in some way because 1 in 5, that is a lot of people. So either you personally will go through it or called directly, so you personally, or indirectly, you'll know somebody who is dealing with it. Say a parent, a sibling, a friend, a teacher, anybody around you might be. So to help reduce the stigma of what mental health is and what people go through, I want you guys to start thinking about ideas as individuals and then as a society, ways we can help break those stigmas down. So I am going to break you out into Zoom chat rooms, and within your groups, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes or so to talk about this. And then when we come back, I'd like you to choose one person from each group to discuss what you said. So I will meet you here in a few minutes. All right, thank you guys for coming back and talking about what you discussed, and I think you all made some wonderful points on how to break down those stigmas. And I've got a few more for you. I would like you to please jot these down because we're going to come back to this later. So 1, watch your language. Make sure that you're not using language comments that stigmatize people with mental illnesses. Ask questions. Questions are fantastic. A lot can be learned by asking questions of a mental health professional like a counselor or a doctor or a person who has lived through those experiences. Now, there are different ways we can ask questions, but I am a why person, so I love questions. And if people aren't responding very well to that, that is okay. Try not to take that personally. It may just be that they're not willing to share, and that is all right as well. So 3, learn more. There's great resources available now online, and to help you learn about it, to educate, to also find groups that are also helping with breaking down those misunderstandings and stigmas. We talked about this in earlier ones, but make sure you find out who are also behind those studies so that you can find those biases. It's always great to find different views, and that way you can find that middle ground, which is going to be more of the truth than one side or the other. So listen to experiences. Once you've learned a bit about the mental health, consider asking someone you know about their experiences with it. Be considerate and respectful, right? And they may be comfortable with speaking it or they may not. And if they are, be thankful, be genuine, and try to figure out ways that you can then take that and work with others. But also remember that one person's experience may not be able to go with somebody else's, and that is okay too. We're all individuals and we go through different experiences in life and handle things differently as well. And last, speak out. Help reduce stigma by speaking out with others and dismantle those misconceptions. So I have 2 pieces of homework for you. One's due today, and then one's due in a week. And after I talk about them, I'm going to talk about our project for the final for this unit, okay? So first, I want you guys to go to the Flipgrid and do a quick little video, and I want you to talk about one of these topics. What you found most interesting, what you learned, what you want to learn more of, or ways to reduce stigma. And I have that in the description on the Flipgrid, okay? And so the second thing is I want you to go find it's called Mind Tracker in our content page, and it is for the week. And what you'll see is it's Monday through Sunday, and it's different times during the day, and you're going to draw a little emoji to show how you're feeling. I want you guys to get used to getting in touch with your emotions. I'm sorry, I know that's going to be maybe a little bit sensitive to some of you guys, and if it's something you're really not comfortable with, please come and express that to me later, but and we'll work with you on that. But otherwise, I want you guys to fill that out, and that'll be due next Monday at midnight, all right? And you have a whole week to do it, so don't wait till the end, okay? All right, and so now our final project for this unit. I'm going to put you guys into groups of 2 to 4, and you all will complete an art piece separately and then work together for an oral piece, okay? So as we go through the unit, you will find something that connects with you. It could be about stigma, depression, ways to de-stress like yoga and walks. Maybe it's working with counselors. Whatever connects with you within that umbrella, under that umbrella of mental health. And I want you to look to the document for our schedule to know when you need to give me all of your ideas and steps by steps, okay? So with a decided topic, you will individually create an art piece. This can be a drawing, painting, sculpture, stick figures, whatever you have at home and whatever you feel most comfortable with being able to complete in our time frame, okay? Then as a group, you'll create an oral piece. This is spoken word, such as poetry, a mini story, a clever way of reciting words and repetition that actually has meaning to your piece, whatever you can come up with. I want you to follow the dates we have. I want you to come and ask me if you have any questions, and I will be checking in. So we're going to break it down step by step, so that way we aren't waiting until the last minute to get this done. This is a pretty big piece. I want to be very clear that I'm not grading you on your artwork or your ability to perform. All right, I'm not the art teacher. I am here to support you and understand your understanding of this material. I am looking for you to take the material given about mental health and share it with the class and myself in a meaningfully and understandable way. And I am really excited to go through this journey with you. And again, let me know if you have any questions. All right. Until next time, guys.